Deep within the shadows of society, there lies a mysterious type of man known only as the Sigma. He's not an alpha, nor is he a beta. He's a lone wolf, a man who marches to the beat of his own drum. But what is it that truly sets Sigma apart from the rest? As someone once said, the Sigma male is not interested in following the rules. He doesn't want to be a part of any system or hierarchy. He wants to create his own, on his own terms. Despite being a relatively unknown and misunderstood male archetype, the Sigma has recently gained more attention due to his unique characteristics and non-conformist attitude. Unlike the Alpha who dominates social hierarchies and the Beta who seeks to fit in and please others, the Sigma operates on his own terms and values his independence above all else. He's highly adaptable and able to blend in with different social groups when necessary, but he never loses sight of his individuality. The Sigma is often highly intelligent and logical, and he values self-sufficiency and freedom over material possessions or status. Despite the growing interest in the Sigma man, there are still many misconceptions about this enigmatic archetype. Contrary to popular belief, they are not shy or socially inept loners. So without further ado, here are 10 things everyone gets wrong about Sigma males. 1. They're not shy. They are private and prefer to stay in the background. So there's this common misconception about Sigmas. People think they're shy or socially awkward. But let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. They aren't defined by their shyness or inability to socialize. They simply value their privacy and prefer to keep a low profile. While alphas thrive in social settings, Sigmas find solace in their own company and tend to avoid the limelight. It's not that they're bad at socializing, they just prefer to keep it to a select few. They'd rather have strong connections with a few people than be popular with a ton of people they don't really know. And although they don't seek it out, they're still able to form good relationships with people on their own terms. Plus, they're great at observing everything that goes on around them. Since they don't mingle as much, they're able to watch and learn discreetly. No shyness or antisocial behavior here, just a preference for maintaining privacy and control over their social lives. It's like they don't have to be part of the crowd to feel good about themselves. They just do their own thing and stay away from the limelight. 2. They're not trying to prove anything. They just enjoy a logical discussion. Some might think that Sigma men argue or debate purely to prove their intellectual superiority. They think they're full of themselves and relish proving others wrong. But this isn't the case. They simply enjoy the mental stimulation that comes with exchanging ideas and perspectives with others. They are often highly analytical and enjoy exploring different angles and possibilities, so they do seek out intelligent people to engage in debates and thought-provoking conversations. However, unlike alphas who may engage in debates to assert their dominance, or betas who may do it to seek approval, Sigmas are motivated purely by intellectual curiosity. They are not interested in winning an argument for the sake of winning, but rather in discovering new truths and perspectives. Sigma men are not argumentative or confrontational by nature. Engaging with a logical discussion means exploring all perspectives, honing your own ideas, and flourishing intellectually, all in one go. Unlike alpha males, those rigid, narrow thinkers that see debates as ways to establish their authority, Sigma men thrive when confronted with new perspectives. They welcome opposing viewpoints because it gives them the chance to refine their own opinions. 3. They're not unfriendly, just prefer a select few who understand them. It's often said that Sigmas can be unfriendly or unapproachable. In reality, Sigma men may appear reserved to those outside their inner circle, but they're not unfriendly at all. They prioritize quality over quantity when it comes to friendships. Rather than seeking validation from shallow acquaintanceships, Sigmas build strong relationships with a select few individuals who truly know and understand them. They invest their time and energy into maintaining these valuable connections. While they might not be quick to open up to strangers or participate in small talk, Sigma males are incredibly loyal and supportive of those within their inner circle, Their reserved nature acts as a filter, helping them identify individuals willing to invest in truly meaningful long-term relationships. They're dependable friends who offer genuine advice and emotional support when needed, making them invaluable allies to have in life. 4. They're not trying to be mysterious. They believe it's better to talk less and think more. Another huge misconception about Sigma men is that they intentionally create an air of mystery around themselves. However, the reality is that these men believe in the power of introspection and contemplation. They like to think deeply before speaking, not necessarily because they want to seem enigmatic, but because they value having a well-thought-out opinion. Instead of speaking impulsively, Sigma males like to take their time and think things through, even if it means being perceived as aloof. Sigma men pay attention, absorb information, and weigh different viewpoints before offering their own opinions. This measured approach allows them to offer thoughtful responses instead of just speaking for the sake of talking. Plus, they find solace in their thoughts, using their alone time to reflect on their lives and avoid past missteps. Their thoughts are like a sanctuary from the outside noise. 5. They enjoy people's company but don't require constant presence. Sigma males are always portrayed as loners or guys who dislike socializing. Well, that's not quite the whole story. They actually enjoy hanging out with friends and just need their space now and then. Unlike most people who can't stand being alone, Sigma men find solace when they're by themselves. It doesn't mean they don't like people. They just don't want them around all the time. But when they are in the mood to socialize, they are so fun to be around. They always bring something interesting to the table and crack everyone up. You can never get enough of their humor, and they're full of surprises. One crucial thing that Sigma men get that others don't is that it's ought to be an individual who stands apart from the crowd. Unlike alphas who rally for attention and betas who hide in the shadows, Sigma men are comfortable with their own company. They are not dictators or control freaks, but individuals who are confident enough to stand out from the crowd without trying too hard. The Sigma male is an emerging archetype with much more depth than what meets the eye. Once you get to know him and understand his ways, you will have an appreciation for all that he stands for. 6. They're not impolite. They just need time to think before speaking. People often see Sigma men as being impolite, but that's just a load of bull. Sigma guys don't just blurt out whatever's on their mind. They take a calculated approach to conversation. They assess the situation, weigh their thoughts, and then formulate a response that's both accurate and meaningful. It's not about being rude, it's about being careful with their words. And let me tell you, these guys don't mess around when it comes to communication. They know that words can never be taken back once they are out there. That's why they're so damn good at reflecting before they speak. Some might call it being reserved, but really it's just a smart move. They don't want to say something that could come back to haunt them later on. So they take their time, think it through, and then deliver the perfect response every time. It's not just about avoiding mistakes. Sigma men truly care about having meaningful conversations. They'll spend hours talking with you, exploring every topic under the sun. And because they're so thoughtful and deliberate in their responses, you always feel like you're speaking to someone who's on another level intellectually. 7. It's not that they're antisocial. They don't like their quiet time interrupted. Sigma males are enigmatic creatures, possessing a complexity that is not easily understood by the average person. However, one thing is sure: they are not antisocial or devoid of any social skills. They simply value their solitude and appreciate its benefits. Sigma men are not ones to suffer fools gladly and prefer to keep their own counsel. They view their quiet time as an opportunity to recharge their batteries, process their thoughts, and engage in deep introspection. In these moments of self-reflection, they find inspiration and clarity, allowing them to navigate the complexities of life with a greater sense of self-awareness and understanding. But let's make one thing crystal clear: Sigma men do not appreciate their quiet time being disturbed. It is an absolute no-go for anyone to invade their personal space during these moments of solitude. It can disrupt their thought process, hamper their ability to focus, and derail their momentum entirely. This is a boundary that Sigma men fiercely protect and will do so with the utmost vigor. They are not ones to be trifled with when it comes to their personal space. This is a boundary they don't want people crossing. 8. They don't always stick to the rules, but they are always open to feedback and correction. Sigma men are not your run-of-the-mill conformists blindly adhering to societal norms and rules. They are a breed apart, fiercely independent thinkers who value intellectual freedom above all else. These men have the confidence to evaluate situations based on their own intuition and judgment, making decisions that may sometimes raise eyebrows or even stir up controversy. They are unafraid to challenge the status quo, exploring alternative perspectives and solutions others might disregard as too risky or outlandish. This nonconformity is not born from a desire to rebel or create chaos, but rather from a deep understanding of the world and a critical assessment of the circumstances. These men know what they want and are not afraid to go against the grain to get it. They are willing to take risks and make bold decisions, even when others might criticize or question their motives. Despite their strong individualism, Sigma men appreciate constructive feedback and understand that their views and decisions may not always be perfect. However, they are always willing to listen and adapt when presented with new insights or evidence. 9. They're not arrogant or weird. They simply have a different way of viewing the world. Sigma men are often labeled as arrogant or weird due to their unique perspectives and unconventional behavior. But the truth is, they only see the world differently from the way other people do. They're not weird or arrogant, they're just different. Unlike most people, Sigma men see beyond societal norms and expectations. They question everything and challenge the status quo with their critical thinking skills. They're curious about the world and want to understand it from a fresh, off-kilter angle. Sure, others might call them weirdos for acting differently, but that's just because they're the only ones who see the world for what it really is, a place where powerful people exploit the weak. And that's why Sigma guys refuse to follow the crowd and bow down to those oppressors. They're not afraid to stand up and do their own thing, even if it means putting themselves in the minority. 10. They're not boring. They can be fun and exciting when they feel comfortable enough. Some people think Sigma males are boring. But let me tell you, these guys know how to have a good time in the right environment. Sure, they may seem all business when they're at work, but when they're in a comfortable environment, they are an absolute blast to be around. The thing about Sigmas is that they thrive on adventure and new experiences. They're not satisfied with just sitting around and doing the same old thing day in and day out. That's why they're always willing to step out of their comfort zone and try something new. Sigma men possess a sharp sense of humor, and when they're around people they trust and feel comfortable with, they're not afraid to let their funny side show. They'll crack jokes, pull pranks, and generally just have a good time. It can be tough to break into Sigma's inner circle. These guys don't just let anyone in, but once you've earned their trust and they feel comfortable around you, you'll see a whole new side to them. They'll loosen up, let their guard down, and reveal their inner child.